Alright, Northwoods Cardboard Gang, let's talk about Pokemon sealed investments that you should be looking at right now. We're going to talk about 5 of them. That's right, we're going to take a look at 5 Pokemon sealed investments. And I'm going to go over why I think that they're good to pick up now, before they continue to go up in price, right after this. Alright guys, I'm Ed with Northwoods TCG, and today we're going to talk about what I talk about best, which is of course Pokemon sealed investments. I have 5 of them. 5 of them here that I am personally starting to purchase again for myself, and that way we can sit here and talk about it overall, why I think that they are really good investments for your sealed Pokemon collection. So today we're going to take a look at the first one, which is going to be this one. Alright guys, here we are at number 5, which is going to be the Silver Tempest 3-pack blister. Now, this one might be odd to some people, but if we look historically at these 3-pack blisters, they do extremely well. They have really good opportunity for growth, and they've all done really well in the past. As these completely go out of circulation, and I have not seen them on the store shelves for a long period of time, they tend to go up in value slowly over time. They're a nice growth item, and they usually do really well. Maybe not the first year that you'll have it, but 2-3 years down the road, you'll see continued growth on this particular product. We've seen ones even going back to the original Sword and Shield base set ones. You know, Vivid Voltage, Rebels Clash, all of those ones are now pushing somewhere around $40 for those particular boxes. Not a bad buy. If in only 2 to 3 years you're going from about $12.99 all the way up to $40, that's a great buy. That's overall good investments overall, how they've trended, and I don't see anything changing, because if we go back to Brilliant Stars, we're already seeing those move up in price. We're already seeing Astral Radiance, Fusion Strike, and all of them slowly moving up in price. Silver Tempest to me is the best buy currently, just because of the price range at around that $12.50. You can buy them on eBay and other sites like that also for around that $12 range. But right now TCG players selling them for $12.50 to $12.95 depending on which promo card you get in them. And you get that Manaphy in there, or you get that Togetic. So both of them are fan favorite Pokemons. They're very well known, which is another good reason for these promos to do well, and people have some maybe interest in them futuristically. So once again, Silver Tempest 3-pack blisters to me is going to be the number 5 spot, the first one on our list to be looking at for your sealed product investments here in Pokemon. Moving on to number 4. Number 4 was a toss-up for me between 3 and 4, but number 4 I put the Lost Origins booster box. Now I know some people will sit there and have the argument that if you're investing in it at $130 that you already missed the bus, and we've had the discussion even here on the channel. But if you have not invested on these, and you truly do believe that Sword and Shield is going to do well, such as myself, I think that these are still really good buys. Overall, at $130 to $135, Lost Origins has got probably one of the better trainer galleries, and in general, just a really good set with that Tina inside of there also. Great opportunity for the set. I think overall there's some really good value futuristically, especially as this kind of disappears off of the Pokemon Center. The Pokemon Center is really going to maintain that low price. Once that's gone, we've already seen this spike up to $165, but then we got reprints of booster boxes, and the price kind of dropped down to about that $130 to $125. Now, at $130 to $135, I still think is a good value if you have not bought into it, if you've already missed the first round of it, and we're starting to see some movement in that upward direction on this particular set, which is another reason for you to really be considering investing into this particular products. Are we going to get more reprints of these booster boxes? Probably not. We've probably seen the last round of these. We might see ETBs potentially in the last couple months of it being out there before it runs out of rotation, but I think that this one is probably a done for when it comes down to booster box reprints, as Pokemon is focusing more on the Scarlet and Violet era instead of the Sword and Shield era. So as we move further and further in the Scarlet and Violet, there'll be less and less product coming even from the warehouses and that of Sword and Shield products. So I think now it's still a really good time to be buying Lost Origins out there and getting the best price you can. Use coupons. Use different places for holiday sales right now. TikTok has great sales. There's great sales on eBay also trying to move these products before the end of the year. Take advantage of those. Get these for your sealed product investments, and I think you'll do extremely well in the next 3 to 5 years on this particular booster box. Moving on to number 3. Alright guys, at number 3, we're going to be looking at the Astral Radiance booster box. Now this particular booster box I think is going to do extremely well. It did not get a reprint, and that's why I put it slightly above Lost Origins, and that's why I said this could be a flip to flop. but I'm looking at something that's a little bit more exclusive. Yes, it's not as popular as Lost Origins. It doesn't have that Tina, it doesn't have that strong Pikachu gallery. It's still got that nice Machamp card and still has some really nice trainer gallery cards. Still has some really good trainers and some other things inside of this set that still have desirability to them, but it did not get that reprint. That reprint to me that it missed. It got a ETB reprint, Astral Radiance got that, but it did not get the booster box reprint like we saw with Lost Origins and Silver Tempest. That makes it a little bit more exclusive in my opinion. A little bit less product running around, a little bit more opportunities to see more growth due to scarcity of a product, which may keep this one slightly above Lost Origins or at least equal to it moving up in the future. That lack of booster boxes that Lost Origins got may level these two out to have this similar growth patterns, but Astral Radiance you can still get around that $130 range, and personally I'm going to take my chances on that less reprinted item than I am on Lost Origins just because of that reprint factor. Do I think there's going to be a booster box reprint of Astral Radiance? If we haven't seen it yet and they skipped over it, I don't think that we're going to see it coming down the pipe. I think, once again, same reasons with Lost Origins and any Sword and Shield product currently. We are getting past the point of reprints on these. They're focusing more on Scarlet and Violet. We might see an ETB reprint, if anything, of these particular sets here as we get closer to that 2-year mark on them. But overall, I think that they're going to start disappearing from warehouses, from Pokemon Center, and when they do, the prices will continue to steadily move up in price. Now, we're going to move on to number 2. Alright guys, here we are, but before we go to number 2 and you made it this far into the video, please hit that subscribe, hit that notify, and last but not least, hit that like button. It's greatly appreciated, helps the channel out. Also, if you know someone that's looking for Pokemon investment in your life or friends, share this video with them. Give them some information that'll help them out in this holiday season, especially with the deals that are currently out there that you can capitalize on your Pokemon investments in TikTok, in Instagram, and also on eBay. There's some great coupons floating around. 20 to 30% off. There's also going to be some holiday discounts on those particular platforms. So definitely check them out and see what you can get. You can get some fantastic pricing on even Sword and Shield products all the way into Scarlet and Violet products, all on different platforms currently out there for the holiday season. So that being said, make sure you hit that subscribe and like, and we'll get back to number 2. Number 2 might be surprising to people. They may not think that this thing has moved very much considering the amount of ETB reprints we saw of it, but Brilliant Stars ETBs are making a resurgence right now. We are seeing them coming up from about $29 earlier this year and pushing all the way up to $39 to $40. That's quite a value increase on those particular products. Now, once again, you can still dig around and find people that have these for sale for around $30 to $35. I think that that's a great purchase price to buy in on these Brilliant Stars. I think in the future, these Brilliant Stars ETBs and Brilliant Stars products are going to do really well, because there is still that great Arceus chase. There's that great Charizard alternate art chase inside of here. There's a lot of value inside of this particular booster box that is sitting there ready to go and explode at some point in time in the near future. Once again, it's kind of sitting there around $144. Once it's gone off of PokemonCenter.com, we saw it already cross up to that $185 mark on its own prior to Pokemon Center putting them more up and keeping them in stock. So as Pokemon Center kind of flushes them out and we get further away from Sword and Shield era, they're definitely going to do that. And when they go out of stock again, we might see a resurgence of them booster box going up. And if those booster boxes start to go up in price, that could also draw up this ETB right with it. You could see the value come out of this particular item. We're already seeing it this year. Brilliant Stars is still a fun set to open. That Arceus and that Charizard alternate art definitely give a good chase to this particular set. And it really does bring up the value of this particular ETB, which is why I have it slightly above the other 2 booster boxes. So once again, great set, great overall opportunities. These ETBs, yes, you could have gotten them around 29 to 30. You can still buy them around 35 to 40. I think that you're still going to do really well futuristically if you are buying these anything under MSRP. If you're buying them under $40 right now, you're going to do fine. I think overall they're going to be great investments and they're going to have a quick movement at some point in time in the near future as this market seems to settle in. As people start getting a little bit more expendable money, if the economy starts to look a little bit better, you're going to see these prices continue to move up. So, we're going to move into number 1. All right, guys, we're already here. The number 1 pick for my list, and that's going to be Paldea Evolved. That's right, the Paldea Evolved booster boxes, to me, are doing really good. We've seen them go down. They were down to about $90. Now we're seeing a resurgence of them back up to $97. So we're seeing that value starting to move up really well on them. Once again, the reprints are the only thing that I'm worried about when it comes down to these booster boxes, but with the ample amount of supply still at the store of even the regular cardboard sleeve blisters, the checkout lane blisters, even ETBs of this particular product, I just don't see them having any desire currently to do a reprint of it. As long as there's tons of product on Pokemon Center, the distributors are sitting on product, the playability isn't quite there on this yet, I just don't see them being in a hurry to do a reprint, nor may they may not. As we've seen with earlier Sword and Shield sets and even early Sun and Moon sets, they just don't do reprints on them because there's just not the reasoning to do so with the change in the mechanic and not the draw for people to come in for the playability of these particular cards yet. So once again, I think there's some great value. Overall, we're starting to see that price starting to move up again on it. Right now, we're getting close to a 3-month high on this particular product again. So there's also that pushing forward as we're getting further into it. Now, once again, this might be possibly the one last time that you could jump in on a reprint or a good jump in point on this particular product and get in on it before it continues to move up. Do I see this product hitting $100 fairly soon? Yes, I think it'll cross $100 fairly quickly if it continues to move forward. Overall, has some fantastic artwork in this particular set. You've got some fantastic SIRs. You've got some fantastic IRs in here. And overall, it does do really well. It's a very eye-catching set. The artwork is just fantastic. It's one of my personal favorites currently from Scarlet and Violet. And there's definitely a lot of cards, even myself, that I am trying to find to fill in my collection starters, such as the complete illustrator rares of the starters. I think that there's a really good line. Looks really good. The artwork is done extremely well, and that's going to continue to be a draw for this particular booster box as we move forward. Now, is that draw going to happen fast enough to make them do reprints of it? I don't know if that's going to happen. I think it's going to be a slow growth, but when it comes down to a solid booster box with a draw and a desire for people to be opening it, this is it. It's got everything you want in it. It looks really good. The pricing is right. So, once again, use those coupons, use those opportunities for holiday sales and discounts. Just because they're selling at $97 on TCG Player currently does not mean that you can't find them at cheaper prices on different sites. Take advantage of that opportunity to build yourself a little bit of a nest egg in these particular products, and that way you can have that extra into it that you're looking for, and that little bit of protection in case we do get a reprint gives you that protection to be able to absorb that cost and let the market reabsorb that and push it forward. Do I think there's going to be a reprint? Slim. I think there's a slim chance. There's never say never. I think it's very slim considering the amount of product that's still available at all of our local card shops, at your Walmarts, at your Targets. A lot of them still have a lot of product. So once again, there's no real value in Pokemon reprinting something that just isn't selling that quickly to begin with. So that's my feelings on it currently. It's never say never on these products, but it's definitely something to consider. Overall, guys, hopefully this was a good list. Hopefully this is something that you enjoyed. Hopefully this helps you maybe on some directions to look at when it comes down to Pokemon investing. If so, make sure you drop a like. It helps me out a ton to hit that like button. Also, if you're new here and you've lasted this long and you've got good information, be sure you hit that subscribe. Hopefully I deserved it today and earned it from you. Last but not least, if you do like this kind of content, check out the 2 videos at the end. I will put them up for you. And we will see you next time here on Northwoods TCG.